Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Sammy with another Let's Talk movie video. So today we're going to be talking about the new Netflix movie The Weekend Away, and I am not going to lie, this movie gave what it was supposed to give. It was actually really good. Um yeah, so let's get started. So the movie starts off with Beth, right? she we see her in a taxi. She's going to visit her best friend Kate, right? So the taxi driver dropped her off, gave her his car. Call me when you need anything. You need to be driven around. So obviously you can see the contrast between these two. Like Beth is that introverted, docile person, that meek personality, and Kate, the best friend, is this loud extrovert, that kind of party animal. Like you get that straight off the bat between them. So they're hugging up and drinking, and Kate gave Beth a present.
I've really missed you so much.
It's beautiful, Beth. Thank you.
Here. I know you love black onyx.
So now we have Beth getting ready because they're going out for dinner. The celebration is just about to really start, and she's there video calling her hubby Rob, and she has a baby back home. So this was just supposed to be like a little getaway for the girls them to catch up because they haven't seen each other for like a long ass time. So when Kate came in now and like just to show off like what she was wearing, just to see if Beth was really ready, I noticed something like really weird, like the look that Rob had. Like you dislike somebody and you was like really annoyed. That's the look that he gave as soon as he saw Kate. Anyways, they left for dinner. They went to this nice restaurant that they're eating, and believe me, Kate is spending like tremendous amount of money, like some extravagant money. Like she want the most expensive wine and whatever, and so Beth is like, girl, can you really? She's like, girl, don't even worry about it. Jay is her ex-husband. There's something about the Jays, but yes, Jay will be paying for all of this anyways, and she want to test how far she can max out his credit card. Like, what's the limit on his credit card? So while they're eating, you can see Kate a bit flirty, and she keep like asking Beth like, how is their relationship? What is that like? How is married life? Are you happy? And Beth admitted that she has not had sex with her husband in like over a year. So Kate was like, yeah, this have a good change. This is the weekend you're just going to let loose and enjoy yourself, right? But kind of, shrug it off. So at a point during the dinner, Kate had gotten up to answer a phone call, and that's when the waiter came and told them that the credit card had declined. So when Beth said the total, she was like, oh shit, like you obviously with your little bit of money can't afford to pay that. So she tried to signal Kate, and that's when you see Kate is there like angry, like telling the person on the phone to leave her alone before she came back over. So Beth, curious, like and worried obviously, like what's going on. She's like, oh, that's just Jay being annoying. And she's like, oh, you found out about the credit card. And she's like, oh yeah, but anyways, Beth offered to go off and hour. She's like, no girl, I got this, and she ended up paying for the dinner. So Beth wanted to go home, but Kate, she's like, no girl, we'll just meet up. This is the first night, let's just continue. And ended up like persuading her to go to this club. So they ended up taking this taxi with the same guy that I dropped off Beth. His name is Zane. Zane is our main character. Yes, so Zane dropped them off there, and so before them actually come out, Kate was like, I she need to powder her nose, which mean she gonna, yeah. So anyways, they reach in the club, and instantly Kate spot two guys, and she's like, yeah, we need to go over there, you know, introduce ourselves. Beth was very like, no, we don't. But you know, Kate, she got the alcohol and she pushed over there and introduced herself to the guys. The guys were just weird because like they just came over and they introduced themselves really, and the guy, one of the guys, did this.
Oh. Oh?
A bit friendly for my taste, but I guess different cultures. So you know, probably you know, like once in Rome, do as the Roman do. I think that's the saying. Don't quote me on that, but I'm sorry. I'm sure that's how the saying goes. Oh my God, Beth is so awkward. I swear. Then I wonder like, is this how I am around people? Like she legit did not know what to do because she hasn't been dating. Like, cause you know she got married and whatever, and the first thing she said to the guy, do you want to see pictures of my baby? So yeah, anyways, the guys then went and got them drinks. So I got Kate drink and got Beth a water. And as they came back, Kate was like, do you guys want to come over? But no, before that, Kate was like, girl, this is your chance to like get some, you know, break that dry spell, you know, do the nasty. And Beth was like, no, girl, remember, I am married. I'm not doing this. And she's like, just leave him, you know, just leave Rob. Let your husband do what I do. You'll be much happier. So the next day, we see Beth in bed, all disheveled. She get up, pounding headache, ran to the bathroom to throw up. So she gets up and she looking for Kate, and there's clothes everywhere. You know, obviously like a steamy night happened. She don't remember what happened, so she's looking. There's condom wrappers here, bra there, and then she saw um a towel on the ground. When she lifted up, there was blood there. So immediately she like, shit, where's Kate? She knocks on the door looking for Kate, can't find Kate. So she's like, and she's calling her as well, and she can't get her. So she called Rob, that's her husband, and she's like, I can't find Kate, and we were supposed to like go cycling today. And he's like, you know, maybe she just went out. You know how Kate is, she just disappeared. She'll show up eventually. And she's like, no man, that's not my girl. She'll like leave a message or something. I can't get her. I'm a bit worried. And he's like, I'm pretty sure she will show up. Anyway, she hung up the phone and she went to check with the landlord guy. His name is Sebastian. Really freaking creepy guy. He gave me this kind of Norman Bates vibes. Creepy, 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 creepy dude. Anyway, she asked him if him see her, and he was like, no, him never see her, but please to know that no parties are allowed in the rooms, and also that they're going to have to pay extra for the two guys that slept over. So again, like I tell you, she's worried. So she went to the police station, right? And she met this rude ass cop. I swear this guy is such a douchebag. And he's like straight off the bat, Emma, you know, dismiss her claim, say like, oh, your friend probably just went out, you know, she's probably just drunk, and she just probably just out doing whatever she want to do. I'm pretty sure nothing is wrong. So she's like, can we just, she wants to file a missing report. And he's like, no, it's too early. We have to wait like 48 hours, I think he said, 24 or 48 hours, one of those. Another female colleague came in and she's like, what's going on? And him there, because again, they're in another country, so they don't speak their native tongue. But luckily, the people them talk English too. Yeah. So he's there talking to the cop, the female cop in another language, talking about how she's here to report her friend going missing, and her friend probably just got drunk and ditched her and blah blah blah. And I'm like, this asshole. So him never him so she basically saw that she wasn't getting anywhere there, and even after him said that, like on the wall right in front of her there was like a bunch of people like on missing. So it's just like a normal thing in the country for people to just go up missing. So during the little interview with the police, she could not remember the name of the club that they visited, because like I remember she kept having like bits and pieces of her memory like slowly coming back, but she can't really remember what happened last night. So she met Zane, that's the taxi driver, right? But Zane brought her to the club, right? And she went and talked to the bartender. So when she was there, like, him basically dismissed her, you know. I don't know what's up with these people. I guess probably it's like a tourist thing, like, yo, we don't see anything, so don't ask us anything. That was the vibe he was giving. Zayn came in and he was talking their language, and that's when him tell Zayn that the two guys them that they were with are actually prostitutes. So when Beth heard this, she was like, oh, she didn't know. And so Zayn asked her if she's sure, say him never, if she's sure, because she told Zayn that she thought that she was drugged because she has never felt that way before. And you know, although she's a lightweight, she would know what her limit is, and she has never felt like the way she did last night. And he's like, you sure Kate never drugged you? And she's like, no man, she don't think so. It could probably be like the guys were the one who drugged her. And she asked him if the bartender gave any information, like where, what their name was, and you know where she could find them, but she only got the name of the guys. Now Betty's home and she's talking to Rob, telling him like what's going on, how she gonna make the missing report, and he's still very dismissive. He's like, come on, that's just Kate. And I swear Kate seemed like a badass person. Like the way him talk about her, the way he speaks about her is really a bit irritating. And he's like, just forget about her. I'm pretty sure it's nothing, you know, just want to enjoy yourself, really. And then even one at one point he's like, you know, you should probably just come back home now, because you know today is Sunday and I have work tomorrow. And he's like, she's like, no, she can't come home because obviously she needs to find her friend. And he's like, him have work Monday. And I'm like, my friend is missing, how does that even compare? But anyways, she told him to check out, you know, extend her stay over there. Him need for figure it out, like, dude, be a parent, I need to find my missing friend. So now Beth is there and she's searching the club's IG's page, and that's when she found the two guys there, their pictures. And I guess she, you know, went on their IG page and she found them. And she and Zayn ended up scheduling a meeting for these with these two guys, pretending like they want to hire them. So as soon as the guys them come and them see Beth, them run. So Zayn got up, you know, and this was like the slowest chase ever. Like, I don't even know if they could call it a chase, because that wasn't even running. Anyways, the two guys them split up, which made no sense to me because we just really need one of you guys. So splitting up really don't make any difference because the two want to know something, so one of them is enough. Anyways, then catch one of the guys them like right at this cliff, like, and like hold him over it, like, what do you know? You know, threatening him and like all evil, bend him, and you know, and Beth is there like asking him questions, and Zayn is there like translating what the guy says. So it's that back and forth. So it turned it out like the prostitutes really just after sleeping with Kelly, they just stole her bag and ran. And they said that was like the last time they met, and they told her that they pawned off her bag. So when which was actually true, because when they showed up at the pawn shop, they found the bag and their phone in the bag. The phone was now dead. So so now they're at the police station, right? And Zayn told Beth that to not tell the police them like he's involved, like, you know, him never meet up with her. And it was just strange as hell, because I was like, dude, what are you into? And he's like, oh, you know, because him don't want him to revoke his visa. I was like, okay, alright, maybe Zayn is cool. So she goes into the police station and she's talking to the policewoman this time, and she was telling her like, oh, I found the guys them that were there the night, and they took my friend bag. So she's like, okay, give me her name, her date of birth, and all of this. And she's like, and Kate and Beth was like, I already gave all of this to your colleague. And then him stand up over there, all, you know, all nonchalant. And he's like, so she look at him and ask him, did you file this? And he's like, no, because he never think it was a big deal. And she was so pissed at him. and like she told him to go and look for the two guys and like to try to find their address and whatever, like go and just go do your work basically. So she's there talking to Beth and tell her like if she thinks she was assaulted, and Beth realized that she really don't remember anything, like if that happened or not. So the policewoman like told her that she was going to have her do a drug test and a sexual assault test, like a rape kit, just to make sure that nothing really happened. So Beth ended up calling Jay, the ex-husband, and again they have this dismissive tone about them regarding Kate, and he was like, she always do this. You're overreacting. Nothing is wrong with Kate. She's probably just out, shopping or doing whatever. Cause she has done this before. Like one time she did vex with him and she leave for a week. Him didn't even know she was dead or alive. So it's nothing to be worried about. And she's like, no, Kate would not do this to me. And him just kind of like, I'm pretty sure it's nothing, and just hung up the phone. So back at the hotel now, right? Beth saw like whole heap of missed call from Rob, but when she took out the phone for calling back, she heard like a shuffling in the room and immediately thought it was Kate. But no, it was the weird ass landlord. They're packing up their stuff for them, and the way he held out like her clothes in front of him, like looking at it, it was just giving me creep vibe. Like, are you allowed to do stuff like that? Beth grabbed it from him, and like she would do it. She would do it. Like she said it with a very assertive tone, and then like she realized and snapped back and be like, "I'll do it," like all calmly. And he's like, "Did you find your friend?" And she was like, "No, not yet." She's like, she's going to stay longer. Cause him asked her like, "Where are you going to stay?" Basically telling like you need to leave, cause checkout was like 11 o'clock, right? So she's like she'll find somewhere, and that's when he mentioned that he had a spare room in his room that he also rents out, and she could stay there. He'll give her like a discount. And she agrees, and I'm like, I don't know. At this point, I don't trust anybody, but she saw it as like, okay, no, because him tell her say it's best if she stay close by in case kids show up, she will see her and whatever. And I'm like, I still don't trust him. But anyway, she took the room, which was also like in this, like you're going down into a basement. Like it was just a weird place for a room to be. Like anybody can just lock you up down there. That's how it looked to me. So Kate's phone has not been charged, right? Because remember, I said she got back the phone from the pawn shop and she charged it up. She can't open it because it's locked, face recognition, right? So anyway, she out now in the house, the landlord's house, and she saw the room there, like this one room that just seemed out of place. It just stands out, and he told her that he was a composer. So anyways, him invited her to have dinner, and she's like, no, she has plans, and just immediately excuse herself from the situation. And so as soon as she went outside, there was Zane waiting for her to go and get dinner, and also to continue to see if they can find Kelly. Not Kelly. Why do I keep saying Kelly? To see if they can find Kate. And that's when Rob come out of nowhere, and he's like, him jealous. I would say he's jealousy. So him look at her like, what's going on here? And they knew it was smart to just take himself from that situation like instantly. So Rob is there like, what are you doing? You're just going to go to dinner with that guy. She's like, he's the taxi guy, and he's been helping me. And him immediately like, oh, can you trust him? Him could have probably been the same one who get rid of Kate and all sorts of stuff, and him basically make her feel dumb. And the way he shouted at her, and she broke down, and him hug her up, and he was just I did not like the way he spoke to her then. But again, now in the room, she's telling all of the information that she has gotten so far about Kate to Rob, and him still saying like, nothing of I'm pretty sure it's nothing, you're just overreacting really. And that's when she got a call. Yeah, so they found Kate's body. So yeah, Kate was dead. They found her in like the sea, and yeah. So Beth obviously broke down because this is her best friend. This was supposed to be a fun weekend, and they just found my best friend's body. She were there talking to the police, like, what happened. And she asked him, like, do you think she drowned or was it an accident? And but from the look on their face, you could tell that it wasn't an accident. But they told her, like, let them just do the autopsy and then they will get back to her. So the next day, Beth woke up to seeing Rob, right? He's there all sad, and just saying him sorry him never did nicer to her, and he hated the way he treated her when she was alive, and blah blah blah. But yeah, so now I have my suspect list already make, right? For the first person, I have like the prostitutes. Suspect number 2 is Zane. Suspect number 3, I have Jay. Suspect number 4, I have Rob. So these are the 4 persons I have on my suspect list for now. So in the same breath, can you believe Rob suggested that she goes back? Like, sir, what the fuck? Did you not just come with me and see me looking on my best friend's body laid out? Like, what the frig? So she was like, no, she can't do that. Like, really? She like, she have to see this through. She has to listen to the autopsy, get everything sorted out for the girl funeral and whatever. And then he's like, oh yeah, for real. Anyways, him did go on my yard. So Beth met up with the police guy, right? Which I really don't like this guy. And to basically bring her back to talk to her about the autopsy that was done, and he confirmed that it was murdered. It was murder, right? So he was like, them could them can't really say if she was assaulted or not, seeing that she slept with multiple guys that night. And the way him that talk about her, we like this. So he was there talking about her, like, really. I didn't like the way he spoke about Kate. Like, he was very insensitive. Seeing that, her best friend was right there. The way he talked to her was just, ugh. So right then and there, me add the police guy to the suspect list because of the way him talk about her. This man behave like same 8 woman. Him just talk with this entitlement that pissed me off. At the place now, Beth tell the police guy that she wanted to see Kate's body just to have, like, one last time with her. And while she was there looking at the body, she told the police that if she could get like a moment to herself, between them, just give her a minute, and he did. And as soon as he exited the room, she used Kate's phone and unlock the phone, the face recognition, which I don't get how it worked. Isn't your eyes supposed to be open for the phone to can read your face? I need to look that up. But yeah, so she got the phone unlocked, and immediately the guy came back. I was like, that was like the shortest minute ever. Like, dude, were you out of the room for even 30 seconds? So they're now exiting the place, and she said she needed to use the bathroom and ran to the bathroom. So go through the phone, go through the phone, go through the phone. And on like one leap of missed calls, so like back to back to back to back, there was a lot of missed calls. And she immediately, but under the name Handyman, that was there. So she called back the number, and it went straight to voicemail. And
you've reached Rob. Leave me a message after the tone.
fucking hell. Kate, here I thought you were like a good friend in somewhat, Kate, I'm so disappointed. So yeah, that was Rob's voice. Kate has been having an affair with Rob. Like, girl, you're sleeping with your best friend's husband. Like, that was so friggin' low. And she went through the messages and saw, like, them saying, meet up here, whatever, whatever, you need to leave her, and I'm going to tell her, stuff like that. you must understand the hurt that Beth was feeling then. Anyways, the police guy didn't knock her, like knock the door and tell her she needs, or if she dropped the phone screen cracked, all of that. Anyways, so now they're in the interrogation room, right? And they're talking to Beth, like asking her like did Kate the drugs, and she admitted it, and they were like, why you never tell we? And they told her because we know if on I that talk about her, we would have never take the case serious, which you guys weren't. And they admitted that. Then they said, but people at the club said that they saw you and Kate arguing. And then I'm like, shit, what if Beth found out that Kate was actually sleeping with her husband during that time, and they fought, right? So immediately I added Beth to the suspect list too, cause girl, did you kill your best friend? And after asking her all of this, they ended up taking away her passport, cause obviously no, they have her as a suspect, as do I. So we don't want her to run back to her country. We need to figure out who the hell killed Kate. So Beth called Jay, the ex-husband. I was like, you knew, and you didn't say anything to me. And Jay was like, yeah, him did know. But him couldn't tell her because she was pregnant at the time. So she asked her how long, she asked him how long this was going on, and he was like, for months. It was going on for months. But me remember said them did hook up back in college. And she was like, yeah, she know of that one time, and that was like just a mistake. And she never think it would have happened again. And the fact that you didn't tell me, like, dude, Jay, you're an asshole. I know Beth was thinking, say, yeah, Kate definitely drugged me because I can't remember anything, and she wanted my husband. So she wanted to put me in like that compromising position where she could probably frame me on whatever, and him gonna leave me and go to her. So then and her they're talking, and he's like, you sure? Like him kept like throwing out, you sure it wasn't like your husband with it? And she was like, no, he was back home with our daughter, and like we video talk a lot while he was home, so it's not him. So Zane look at her and like he's asked like, do you think it was me? And then I started thinking like, Zane, was it you? And I was like, no, which criminal is going to like put themselves out like that? But then again, that would be like the smartest thing to do. Like you make them kind of either straight out there so they don't really suspect you. So I'm there watching Zayn, like I don't trust you, but I kind of trust you. Like I don't know how to feel about Zayn. So Beth is home now, and she called Rob, the cheating asshole, right? And she confronted him and asked him, like she just said straight up. She's like, yeah, I knew you were no, she never said that. So no, Beth confronted her husband, right? She called looking for guy, and she said to him like, I knew you and Kate was sleeping together. And he was like, no, what are you talking about? Trying to bullshit his way out of it. And she was like, stop lying to me, just tell me the truth. I knew you were screwing her for months. And then Rob gave the most male response ever. Like I swear, the writer got this down to the T. The dude said the perfect thing ever. Like,
I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. It didn't mean anything.
We only did it because when was the last time we had sex? You were depressed, and
No, you do not get to blame this on me.
because he was like, you should come home now. And she was like, no, she can't, because the police basically confiscated her passport. And if them even find out no, say, Kate and Rob was having an affair, make it worse than Maga have her other suspects that she, offer a friend out of jealousy. So the next day, the police came and they arrested Beth, right? They for the murder of Kate. So while she was there and they were interrogating her, they were like, do you think we wouldn't know? And she was like, what are you talking about? And they showed her the picture of Zayn and her like having lunch together while she held his hand. And she's like, the policewoman was like, did you know he was a part of a gang? And he's involved with human trafficking. And we also knew that your friend was having an affair with your husband, and that's why you hired Zayn to kill her. So Beth now in tears like no, she didn't do anything like that. Why would she do this? And she just went silent to be like, you know what, I want a lawyer. She ended up getting off. The lawyer told her like next time call me immediately, don't say anything that can incriminate yourself. So now Beth is home, and as she reached in, there was Zane in her room. Zane. Anyway, she asked him, you know, what was the whole thing about? Because they told her he was in a gang, and him explained the situation. Him help out like a kid one time, and the one of the gang member helped him to get like a passport and some shit like that. But he never have any involvement with the gang. Somebody from the gang just basically did him a favor, so him could get him stay in the country. She said, how can I trust you? And he's like, well, you know, I can't make you trust me, but trust your heart. And immediately there, like I just kicked off Zayn from off the suspect list, cause something about Zayn just clicked with me right then and there. Betty's there in her room, right, and like she put two and two together, and she say, how come the police them find out like the day immediately after that, you know, the whole conversation we had with her husband saying that the affair with Kate. So it's like she stand up in front of the mirror, and she remember like when Dottie Sebastian I get the business card from the police, right? So it's like she stand up in front of the mirror and like I look, you know, for see if you see a camera, and there was a damn camera when she, you know, she looked behind, and there it was. I never liked Sebastian. Immediately, Beth jumped up and started to do her investigation herself, because you know the police ain't doing shit, and she has to clear her name. So she start look around Sebastian's place, you know, so if she can find a key. And immediately Sebastian came in like, what are you looking for? And she's like, well, I was looking for a menu to like order food. And he's like, that's what it's we do that online. And she basically told him she ran out a date and asked him for the Wi-Fi password. So she noticed that he was actually leaving as well. So while he was there writing down the Wi-Fi password, which was like the longest password ever, she managed to remove the key from off his bag. So as soon as him leave, she go in the room. That room that I tell you that just stands out. So she goes into the room, and there was screen like this really great. There was screen everywhere really, and she turned it on, and that's when you realize that this nasty piece of shit was actually spying on all his tenants, right? He had cameras everywhere in the people in bathroom, in their bedroom, and like people did it, people doing their stuff. So he's there watching people. So she immediately started to search back on Friday the recordings, and that's when she realized that Kate actually did not do anything to her. She just removed her clothes and then covered her back. Then we see Kate actually dancing with the guys. Then we see Kate having sex with the guys, and then we see when she was going off to shower that the guys then grab her bag and ran out. Then we see Kate chasing after the guys. Like when she was going to grab up her keys, like her hand got cut on a glass, and that's where the toil thing happened. And we saw when she chased after them, jump in a taxi and left. And then we can see when a car came back and dropped her off. So alright, we're taking off the prostitutes off the suspects list now, because them innocent. I know the creepy landlord came back, and Beth and him started to fight, right? Because she socked him in the nose as well when he was trying to come through the door, and she cussed him out to him like, I know what you were doing. You was a creep. You're there watching the people them have sex and blah blah blah. And he's like, no, I'm just basically doing security and whatever. I was like, no, dude, you crossed the friggin' line. Anyways, she started to fight, and she pushed him, and him lick him head on the table. Luckily, him never dead. Cause I swear, I don't know how Beth would have even get out of this one. Most of the police them want lock her up. Him never dead. Immediately after she ran outside, Zane grabbed her, but she socked him in the mouth, thinking it was actually Sebastian. But they jumped in the car immediately and drove. While she was in the room, she had ended up taking off one of the taxi's license plate number, and Zane brought her to a place where you could actually find the person. So while she was there was a news report flashing her picture saying that she's wanted for the murder of Kate. And they were there talking to the police, not the police, the taxi guy who had dropped off Kate that night, and he was like, yeah, he actually did pick her up to trace to trail the guys them that had stole their bag. But he had end up lost them, and then he dropped off Kate to the police station. Yeah, let's move the police guy to suspect number one. So yeah, the police guy actually met Kate, right? After all of that, then suddenly one heap of police cars start swooping in on Beth and Zane, and that's when Beth recognized the last license plate number that had dropped off Kate that night when we saw her slamming the door. It was actually the police guy. So yeah, we put two and two together. The police guy was actually the one who had murdered Kate. So them started to run off, and again, them and them saw running. So the police had chased them. And again, if this was ever Jamaica, sorry to say, Beth and Zane would have been killed. So they're running, and Beth is telling Zane everything that she know, that it was actually the police guy who had murdered Kate. And he's like, all right, I'm going to distract them so you can run, which was really stupid, because if you ever switch part this girl run go and go get catch. Girl, why the hell would you go up there? You're running from somebody. Why would you go on top of a roof? Make it make sense, Beth. I wanted to slap her, you see. Anyways, the guy catch up to her, the police guy, and she confronted his ass. She's like, I knew you were the one who killed Kate. And she said to him, like, you were just mad because you wanted her and she didn't want you, so you killed her. And he's like, oh, she was just a slut anyways, and blah blah blah, and started like pointing the gun at her. And that's when the policewoman came and shouted out, and he looked back and slipped on a rock and fell over and died. That was so anticlimactic, but yeah, he died. So the policewoman was there, like, apologizing and saying, yeah, I'm sorry all of this happened. The police guy apparently he's one of those little scums. Him always like sexually assault women and gets away with it, especially because seeing that the woman that he did it to before were prostitutes, and every time like they think they had a case against him, he would actually threaten them, so nobody now could come with evidence. So instead of firing this man because they don't have enough evidence, they only transferred him to a new department, which was stores. But ended up getting back her passport, and she went home. So yeah. Oh, so now actually love this scene. It was like so cute. Yes, leave your stinking ass husband and be with Zane. Zane is like a great guy. I'm happy that Zane is happy. So now basically Beth dropping off her daughter to the ex-husband's house, and you can see him there looking like all, like you're walking on eggshells around somebody, like him scared to say certain stuff because him know what him do. Invited her to stay over for tea, and she was like, no, I can't. And he's like, I know something that's going on. We can take the baby, just the three of us, trying to mend things. So anyway, she kind of like ignore him and be like, can I get my spare key for my car? And he's like, oh, it's either in the bowl thingy, or in my jacket. So she go over there and it wasn't in the bowl. But when she put her hand in the jacket, she found this.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Rob, you piece of shit. Yes. So, and then I just even realized the police guy didn't even get a chance to explain himself. Even though he's a scumbag, him get basically is being accused of something that he didn't do. Right? Yes, he's a rapist, but basically he's not a murderer. Anyways. Rob came over like, is everything okay? And she's like, can I use the bathroom? She went into the bathroom and she called the police lady and she's like, oh, the police guy, I don't remember his name. I don't feel like remembering his name either. The police guy wasn't the one who killed Kate. It was, and then there was a knock on the door. Rob's like, is everything okay? She's like, I think I'm going to stay for that tea after. And she exits the bathroom, right? And she walked out and she waited until they were in the living room and she confronted him like, Beth is a little badass, under the quiet, girl the work thing. So Beth asked him like, did you really kill Kate? And he was like, what are you talking about? And she showed him the bead, like, I bought her this bead when we were on vacation. You met up with Kate there. And this is where you see that Rob was just a delusional guy, because what him do, when him couldn't get Kate, right, him show up there the same night. Remember when we saw when the police guy dropped off Kate, he was actually there, and then they decided to walk off and go to the beach and started to talk. And that's when Kate said she's done with him, like she's going to tell Beth everything, just come clean. And he's like, no, whatever. But in his eyes, what he's telling Beth is that Kate was so obsessed with him and so in love with him, and he got angry and he pushed her upon the rock and she dropped into the water and dead. And she was like, no, this is why Kate wanted me out here, because she wanted to tell me everything what was going on, to let me know that you were basically a let me know that you were a scumbag and all these things. And no, that lick on her head wasn't what killed her. She drowned. Like, all you had to do was pull her out of the water and she would have lived. So yeah, dude, you friggin' killed this girl. And it was just irritating. If you saw the anger on his face, like 1 minute he's angry, the next minute he's remorseful. And like in his eyes, him think Kate was like the one who was so obsessed with him and want him. And it was nothing like that. It was nothing like that at all. So yeah, it was Rob. So him grab off her, like she punched him in the nose and then kicked him in the balls. And she told him that the police heard everything and they were on their way right now, and she just walked out with her baby in hand. And that was the movie, and it was really satisfying. I'm not even gonna lie, I love the ending. It wasn't that, I'm glad that he didn't die. Like, most of those movies always end like the criminal die. No, I want you to go into prison for the rest of your life. And I hope like a guy in prison likes you and just makes you his bitch, basically. Cause dude, are you freaking kidding me? And then how could you live with yourself and look in Beth's eye? Like, some Bet didn't even forgive you. How could you live with yourself knowing that you probably would have lived alright, because him seems psycho enough. God. I mean, Kate wasn't like, she was shitty, I guess. No, not even I guess. Kate was a shitty person as well. But she didn't deserve to die. And I give her props for the fact that she was willing to come and tell her friend all of this. And she didn't deserve the ending that she got. Why? Yeah, that's the movie. I would definitely give this movie a 4.5 on the rating scale, 4.5 stars. So I really love the movie. Tell me what you guys think. Like, I really want to have a discussion with you guys about this movie in the comments below. If you haven't yet, add me on Twitter. I'm trying to be more present on there. It is naturally underscore Sammy with S, that's SAMMI. You can follow me on IG as well. I'll add those in the description below. So I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please do click that like button, also to subscribe, and until next time, bye guys.